And I'm going to begin from this petal. Okay. I'm going to very lightly start shading from here. Let the texture on the paper do the magic. Do not press your pencil. Just touch the tip of the pencil and let the paper work its texture on. I will have little more texture because my paper is too much of, it's more like a hard press paper and it is semi texture. That's why my paper will have more texture. Okay, after you've done here, we will come to these curves part and we'll bring the curve towards inside. I'm still continuing with 2B. And if you notice, I'm holding the pencil slightly up. Okay, and I'm going to keep going curve. And then from the top also, because we have to get that effect of the petal. If you notice, I'm not using 2B to its lightest. I'm using 2B to its mid-tone. And then I've left the middle part, and then I'm just gonna go round in this. So now with 6B, I will create, so in Hibiscus you all would have seen we often get those line kinds of effect, right? Which many times we try to get it with indenting. But right now, since we are not using indenting, so we will directly create it with 6B. Also, it's good if you do the indenting when the flower is completely bloomed. Because at this point of time, even though the lines are visible, they are not so prominent because it is still in the blooming stage. Okay? Now, do not hold the pencil here. Hold the pencil again a little up, but not too much behind. If you see, I'm just making lines and I'm bringing them inside. Each line is coming from the outside and is coming inside. And now with 6B, I will give a dark effect over here. If you notice, I'm not darkening everywhere. Just beside few lines, I will be darkening. I'm going to leave few places as it is. And then I'm going to use earbud. And just where the lines are, okay? Just where the lines are, I'm going to just blend beside the line. Because that is, because that is what is going to give me the prominence of the line. And then I will be using my eraser. I'm just creating some highlights. And again, I'm not erasing everywhere. If you feel after erasing the lines have become light, the ones that you wanted it to be dark, then you can use your 4B or 6B or 2B to make them prominent again. I am just using my 4B. Because if I use 6B after erasing, it will become way too dark. Because if you'll remember, as I mentioned last class, when we erase, the paper becomes slightly rough. I did. What different is going to happen in this petal is, this petal we just went like straight. From here, we are going to create a curve from the center, showing these two petals towards down, these two petals falling out, and this going up. Okay, because that's how generally hibiscus is. It's not like rose which goes sira. This goes far like this. Okay, so we're going to do everything same, except when I'm starting from this point, I will be moving in a curved direction. I will be starting with 2B because I want a light base, so that when I'm erasing, I get that light base. Now the other trick that you have to keep in mind while you are working on the petals which you want to show that they are falling on the side, when you are shading from the edges also. Now for this one, what we did from top to down in a simple straight normal way. But in this, we are going to bring every curve falling this side. Okay? So let's create the base of 2B first. Now, even when you are on this side, you will not be curving in this direction. You will be curving it in this direction. You all are understanding, right? Why we are curving in this direction. And also trying to maintain the natural look of the petal. So everybody please start with the base. And if you'll notice, I haven't shaded the entire petal. I've left some white spaces because this is where I will be using the blending part. Now for this also, I can use my earbud, but with finger, I will get that round effect faster. Because if you notice, the earbud's thickness is this much, whereas the finger's thickness is this much. So it will be easy to cover a bigger area and it will go round easily. Now in this, while you are creating the lines with your 6B, the lines will also come falling towards these directions. And please remember, every line that we make, they have to be broken lines. In this one, I'm also going to create a little dark effect between the lines. So I will be using my 6B and making this part slightly dark, giving that curve effect and the bend effect of the petal. Basically adding the value of depth. And then I take my earbud before I move to the erasing part. Earbud helps us attaining the soft look. And then the eraser. Then using my 4B, just making some lines more visible and prominent. This is how we are going to work on all the other petals. So let's begin with all the petals now. For these two petals, it will be falling down. So you can always turn your notebook so that it becomes straight for you. Now we've got all the petals over here. Now we have to create the dark effect in the center. But the dark will not be created like a dot unlike a sunflower or those basic flowers which we've been drawing since childhood, which is like this and then we go like this. Okay, so it will not be this round dark. So I'm going to use my 11B or 12B. Now this is what will make the look of the petals the way we want it to, as in like which side which petal is going. Okay, so we start from the center and we first come towards the bottom. And if you notice, I'm not making it dark at the very first layer, because as it is I'm using 12B, and if you all are using 8B or 10B, it is still pretty dark, so you don't have to press too much. You have to maintain the curve of the petal, especially from where it's coming out, because we have to show that the petals are coming out from inside. And if you'll notice, I first shaded the bottom two petal side, because I first want to create that, okay, that these petals are falling towards down, and also I did this in the curved way. If you all notice, I'm still doing that. And then I move to the side two petals. Then I'm going to the top petal. Now this top petal, the reason I'm doing it at the end is so that this one gets covered. This cover effect comes, like the curved one. So this will look as if it's coming from behind of that, or it's like further deep inside. Now only on this part I will create a little more dark effect. And now a simple thing, that is, you can take your 6B or 8B and the pollens. I'm using 6B. So you can use 6B or 8B, and this time we are using 6B to its darkest. Yes. There, this flower is done. So this is how I just wrote my name.